Hey, grade 8. So today's lesson is going to be about dividing fractions. Okay. So there's three different ways you're going to learn to divide fractions today using a number line, common denominators, and invert and multiply. Let's look at the first way, number line. This might be the toughest. So I have 2/3 divided by a quarter. So think of it as like 2/3 of a pizza, and we want to cut those pieces into quarters. How big is each slice, right? So we got to get out of here. I'm going to go to E Pearson. Now, before I figure out the number line, you're going to see I have three different number lines. And the reason I have that is I have one number line that's divided into thirds, one divided into fourths, and I have one that's divided into twelfths. And the reason I have that one that's divided into twelfths is because I know that thirds and fourths play well on that number line. So that's really going to help me. So let's take a look at that number line. So here I have my number line, and I want to show you. This red dot tells me how much pizza I have left. Notice it lines up perfectly on this 12th here. Okay. Now, on the bottom, this is how big a slice is going to be. It's going to be 1/4. And if you notice, it goes up here, and I can go to 1/4 very nice on my 12ths. So let's go like this. 2 fit on there. Watch what happens. You've seen this before in previous videos. If I do this, it's too big, so let's get rid of that. So my answer for 2/3 divided by quarters is equal to 2 jumps. So my big number is going to be 2. And then I have 2 jumps left, 2 little dashes left to get to 2/3 here. So that's going to be 2. And then that's going to be my numerator. And my denominator is actually how big a jump was. And in this case, each jump was 3 ticks. So my answer would be 2 and 2/3. Okay, that's how you do the number line method. Let's take a look if you are going to do common denominators. This is an easier one. What you do is you first have to change the denominators so that they're common. In this case, we know that it's twelfths. So, and now the question now becomes 8/12 divided by 3/12. Well, watch this. When you have common denominators, you can just cross them out of there. They cancel each other out. All right, so really the question is actually 8 divided by 3. Okay, so if I go down here, I can write 8 divided by 3. It looks like this. It's an improper fraction. And all I want to do is I want to convert it to a mixed numeral. So I know 3 goes into 8 twice. There's 2 left over. The denominator is always the same. So it should be 2 and 2/3. That's how you do common denominators. Here's the third way. This is my favorite way. This is the way I was taught. This is how I find it easiest. All right. So it's called invert and multiply. Step 1, let's just change the division sign. Let's just get rid of the division sign. But you guys know in math, you can't just do one thing to make it easier. Sometimes it's tied to something. So yes, we want to get rid of the division sign. Change it to multiplication sign. But if you do that, you have to invert, or that's a very fancy word for flip. You have to flip the second fraction. So now it's 2/3 times 4/1. Once I do that, it's just simple multiplication with fractions. Numerators times numerators. 2 times 4 is 8. Denominator times denominator. 3 times 1 is 3. So I'm left with 8/3. Just convert that improper fraction to a mixed numeral, and it becomes 2 and 2/3. And that's as easy as it is. All right. So go back here. Wow, that's a lot of writing there for that. So you now know how to do the number line. You can use 3 number lines. You knew common denominators, change the denominators the same, then get rid of them. Or invert and multiply, get rid of division altogether, replace it with the multiplication sign, and just flip, invert that second fraction, multiply top, multiply bottom. Life's good. Okay? Take care. We'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye-bye.